Justin Cooper winning the Lakewood National with Vortex Racing sprocket on the back of his bike. Stu, Chad, Ferrandis, they've all won titles using Vortex Racing sprockets. The V3 bar, 29% stronger than the competition. They put years of R&D and testing into super strong bars without sacrificing weight and speed. And as I said, the sprockets are long-lasting, laser-cut steel Vortex sprockets. They got the aluminum ones as well. Star Yamaha, as well as the Monster Yamaha guys of Barsha and Tickle are using Vortex Racing. Email Kyle at vortexracing.com if you want a deal from bars and sprockets from the folks at Vortex. Let's bring you our winner from this past weekend, first one of the year, and it was nice to see. It's Justin Cooper, the Star Yamaha team. What's up, J. Coop?
Nothing. That was a good intro. It feels good.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on. You've been a hard guy to figure out this year because coming into this year, your podium percentage is fucking phenomenal. It might be one of the best in the sport in history. And obviously we knew you came in with a hurt hand and you weren't where you wanted to be. But some motos, you would be great. And then like with first moto at Millville, it would be the Justin Cooper we're not used to seeing. And so for me, watching you, J. Coop, and I don't know you that well, I've kind of been like, is he back? No. Is he back? Kinda. You know what I mean? So it was nice to see you this weekend put it together.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that for me too. Like each year is different, and you kind of, you go off your results and you see where you stack up. So the beginning of the year, I really wasn't ready to go. So I kind of expected something like that to happen, but I didn't expect it to snowball, I guess, as bad as it did.
Right.
It really took me a while to like get back in. I feel in contention to even compete with the top five. So it's really been a struggle all the way up until the week before WW. That's kind of when I started clicking at the practice tracks at home, and that's kind of where my confidence just started, rising from there.
So you felt it, like you felt it where you're like, hey, I'm flowing, I'm riding well. Like you felt it around that time.
Yeah, because even at Millville, like I got third in the second moto, but dude, I was so uncomfortable the whole day, and nothing like really felt that good. But going into WW, I felt like I was in a position to where I could fight those top guys, and that's kind of what happened. And it was it kind of went to plan. I didn't really expect to light the world on fire, but I expected to be closer at WW, and I was. And it was just that much better the week after. So heading into Colorado, I knew that was a good track for me, and it really came on with a lot of confidence. And I kind of expected myself to do what I did this weekend, and I really actually was telling people I was going to do it. So
okay.
I really had to back that up, and it all worked out pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say so. Vortex Racing bringing you Justin Cooper on the show tonight. 702-586-7857. If you have a question for J. Coop, give us a call. He's the Lakewood winner. Man, I talked to a lot of guys after the race, and like outside of Christian, Craig, no one was really stoked on the track prep. Like, kind of not as usual. What did you think about it?
It was, I know what they're talking about. It was like one half of the track was kind of flat, and then the other half was like, it got beat in pretty well, and it kind of got rough.
Yep.
But, I didn't think it was bad. I think it got better as the day went on, and it almost looked even better for the 452nd moto. Like, it looked like the track was really, coming around. It was getting beat up, and it was becoming a nice racetrack. So
right.
I didn't mind it. It was a little bit flat in track and in practice, but it definitely turned around towards the end.
Yeah, it was different. It was kind of like Millville. I mean, even the Martin brothers are saying Millville wasn't what they usually thought, right? They didn't enjoy it. So, yeah, I don't know, just a little different track prep at those places than usual. That's all. And whether it's good or bad or whatever, just different, So I think that threw some guys.
Yeah, and it probably helped with the weather didn't help it. Like we're 2 months later and probably actually 3 for this race in the season, and it's different. The weather's just gonna make the track different, I feel.
Right, yeah, absolutely. A good point. Hey, I'm all about these fall nationals, dude. I'm all about them. I've been writing about them and talking about them. Like after Supercross, let's give you guys a month off, month and a half, get your outdoor settings going, get rested, run the 12 races, right away as quick as we can. We end in the fall, And then this way the designations will be set up easier because guys won't have to take the big time off, so they'll be more eager to go. What do you think, Cooper? Would you be down with that?
Yeah, it just gives us less time off, and it is already a busy schedule. Maybe if we pushed the start of Supercross back, then
right,
that would make more sense. Maybe because it would give us like a January, February off or something.
They're not gonna do that. Yeah, they're not gonna do that.
Yeah, it would make it just a full year-round grind, which wouldn't be that fun.
So you're telling me when I proposed the month and a half off, it's not like you guys are actually going to take that off. You would just be grinding, right? You'd just be testing yourselves into the ground.
Well,
probably.
we're only going to hurt ourselves by taking that time off because we're just going to lose fitness, and getting it back is going to be near impossible. So
yeah, no, I guess you got a good point. So when you go to a track like Lakewood, and we all know your bikes are good, like you guys, yourself and Nichols and Ferrandis and Masterpool, everybody on the team are great riders, don't get me wrong, but you guys' bikes are just incredible. Also, Blue Crew has really figured that out. When you go to a track like at Lakewood at Elevation, a little bit in your mind, you got to be like, this is going to be good. I mean, you're going to fight Dylan and all your teammates, but in your mind, I'm sure, Justin, you're like, this is going to be good, huh?
Yeah, definitely, because in the past, I've definitely done good there, and I know the team has put a lot of work in up there, like with testing with the bike and all that, and we have a good bike, so as long as they have it figured out for the altitude, it's just going to be that much better for us.
Right.
Hey, I wrote about this in my columns this week. I always get this asked about you, and I don't know much about you, Coop, but they're like, hey, he just signed his contract. You think he's cruising this year. He's not doing great, so he's just chilling. He's got paid. I'm like, dude, the guy is a New Yorker. And if I know anything about East Coast, if this was a California kid, I wouldn't be like, maybe. But from what I've heard from you, from Seth, other people that know you, there's no way that this is in your DNA, dude. Like, you're trying your balls off every single week, and you're finally, like you said, you're finally trying to get that flow, and you found it. So I just think it's really cool that you actually won, and we kind of see what you're all about again, because last year, dude, it was amazing.
Yeah, trust me, I'd like to say that was the excuse for the first 5 rounds, but it wasn't. I was going there and trying my best, but it just wasn't working out for me. So I'm sure you guys heard that I went back to last year's settings, and it automatically felt comfortable for me. So that was really the big change, and that's really what we were looking for. We were getting pretty desperate to get comfortable with. I mean, I got comfortable a week ago, and there's 1 week left in the championship. So it was now or never, and it's worked so far, and we're obviously not going to change anything going into the last round. So it's definitely. I always want to win, and I'm always going to try my best. So I would never do something like that, just cruise through a series. That's just not me.
What about that rhythm section, dude? Like those rollers, and you had to triple out in the middle of that thing. How hard was that to time?
Oh, it's not hard to time. It's everything you got. It's just if you're going to make it or not. And I cased it a couple, towards the end of the second moto, it was getting tougher and tougher, obviously. And I kept coming up short, and I was almost losing time, but I was almost crashing at the same time, because if you cased it, you had your back wheel. You had those ruts on the face of the third one. So if you cased it, your back wheel was sliding into one of those ruts and almost trying to high side you. So I think the last 2 or 3 laps, I just went for the scrub double, and I was about over that thing for the day.
It was funny because I was watching him do it, and then Ferrandis. The Yamaha bikes were doing it. The 250s were doing it easier than some of the 450 guys.
They were.
It's insane, dude.
You know who was actually doing it really good? Hunter Lawrence.
Really?
On the right side. I don't know if it was taller on the right side or what was going on, Coop, but Hunter was actually downsiding that thing the most impressive of any non-Yamaha 250. He was getting it.
Really?
Not every lap, but Hunter Lawrence had whatever going on. He figured it out. So I wrote about that, I think, in my column. So, Justin, you signed with Yamaha, re-upped. You were definitely a very, very hot free agent. I know word was KTM was going after you. How much interest did you have? Did you come close to leaving, and why did you decide to stay with the Blue Crew guys?
It was a pretty easy choice to stay.
Yeah.
Obviously, I saw what was out there, like any other rider would do. It's a job, so
Right.
yeah. I'm in a team that's really competitive, and we're both going after the same thing, which is championship. So I think it was a good choice to stay with Yamaha for the rest of my 250 career and establish myself as a title contender each year. So I won't stop until I get a few championships, and that's what they want out of me. So I think we both have the same goal in mind, and that's what it's going to take.
Yeah, for next year, for 2021, I mean, you have to be thinking 2 titles, right? This has to be what you're thinking.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. There's nothing else for me to do. So, that is definitely the goal, to go win Supercross and try to win motocross.
Absolutely. Justin Cooper on the show, brought to you by Vertex Racing. Please check them out as well, or Vortex Racing, I should say. Vortex Racing Sprockets. Star Yamaha using the sprockets out there, as well as the Monster Energy Yamaha crew.
Hey, Justin, Darkside. With the outdoor season starting the way it did, with you struggling to get back to form, and now right as you're starting to get back to it, it's about to end. How do you maintain that? How do you continue that to? And we don't even know when Supercross is going to start necessarily. It's got to be kind of a rough situation.
As far as staying ready and.
Well, you're coming back into form, yeah. So now you really, do you feel like you can now go take some time off, or do you got to keep grinding until Supercross to continue to get better and be ready?
No, I feel like these past couple weeks, I've finally, felt like the rider I was last year and then some. So I feel like I'm in a good spot to where I've made progress with my riding, and I honestly feel like I'm better than I was last year. So that's good for me, and
right.
I'm at a point where I've taken the pressure off myself a little bit, and I've gone out and performed the last 2 races. So I think I've been in the top 4 of the last 5 or 6 motos. So it's going to show that the progress is there, and we're on the right track. And it is going to end next week. So I mean, all we can do is go out and give it our all this last one, and we're going to definitely go for the win again. That's always going to be the goal, and I feel like we're at a point where we're competitive to do so, and that showed this weekend. So yeah, just really ready to go out and fight one more time and take some well-needed time off.
Right on.
We got a call for you on one here from Alex. Alex, what's your question for Justin Cooper?
Hey, Justin, how much has riding in the snow really affected your ability to ride during these colder months that we're not really used to?
Yeah, it's honestly been in the 40s. The 2 cold races we've had this year have been Millville and this last one in Colorado. They've been probably 40 in the morning, and yeah, you got to the line with the jacket. But honestly, I've been in California for a few years now, so I'm not really.
We've noticed you're on the island for sure.
What?
What do
you mean you've noticed him on the island, or what are you talking about, Alex? Here.
We've noticed that he's been gone for a long time.
Oh yeah,
we miss him very much.
Well, bro, we can't ride on Long Island.
What's he gonna do, dude?
Yeah, I mean, come on.
We'd love the industry to come here, but we're also realistic about it.
Right,
so,
right.
It is what it is.
Right. Last time we had. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
The cold. The cold. It doesn't really bother me because it hasn't been too cold, but. Yeah, I've definitely been through my colder days back on the island.
Yeah, Wes, one of the times we had you on here, Justin, I grilled you on New York Islander history, and you failed. You failed big time. It was
a disappointment.
I was very upset, but I've gotten over it.
Me too.
Thanks, Alex. Thank you.
No problem.
Bowers rode his whole first practice with a jacket on. I don't know if anybody noticed that.
Really?
Yeah, jacket on. Bowers. So
I was honestly thinking about that, but I didn't want to get my jacket dirty.
Right. Hey, how many teammates are you going to have next year? 8 or 10? How many? What are we thinking?
12.
12?
12.
Okay, all right. Sounds good.
Are we talking amateurs or pros?
I think everything. Yeah. I don't know everything. It seems like you're going to have a 450
everything
team over
might
there.
Be like 20.
Right. Poor Wilbur. How's he going to keep all the names straight and everything? You're going to have AP.
He's already messing it up.
Right. You're going to have all the 250 kids, and you got Romano, and you got.
Well, half of them are just going to live with Will.
Yeah, they all live with Will.
Yeah,
right,
so-
right. Yeah, good point. J. Coop moved out though. He's gone. He
Yeah,
split.
yeah.
He split. Okay, well, it's time to ask you about the dog.
Jesus.
We got to get to that. Big discussion today on our podcast. I wrote about it as well. I'm a dog lover. The only thing I would have liked better is you would have had a Basset Hound up there, Justin. That's my dog of choice. But I thought it was fine. I got no problems with it. Some people like Jet Lawrence and honestly, some people on our social media, talked about it. You have to be having a laugh about this whole thing.
Yeah, dude. Anyone that's talked crap on it can go kick rocks. Like that's all I have. That's all I have for it.
Right.
Wait till you see what I have in store for this weekend.
Oh shit.
This is awesome.
Oh, I like this.
I like this. Yeah. No, I mean, listen. Yeah, like you're on the podium, and if you love your dog and it's your turn to like do something, then you got the dog. Like, yeah. Like who cares?
Yeah, I don't win that often, so when I do, I'm taking full advantage of it.
And look, and I like Jet. He was on the show 2 weeks ago. He's a rad dude. He had fucking donuts, as you pointed out, J. Coop. He's called his brother his sister. Like, he's not exactly the one to start talking about podium etiquette, to me.
That's what I'm.
Right.
I could go on for days about it.
Right.
I could really do it. It's just an immature 17-year-old. That's what it comes down to. I don't know if he was looking for attention or what.
No. Well, okay. This was going to lead to my next question. Do you guys have beef? Like, did something happen that I don't know about? And you guys, I mean, obviously he's your competitor. You're going to be battling this kid, so there is natural rivalry. But is there something off the track or personal going on that we don't know about? Because I found it so odd for him to go after you like that.
Yeah, and that's just the thing. I've never talked to the kid in my life, and I've never,
Right.
dude, if you were to ask me before this all happened, like, what do you think of Jet Lawrence? I'd be like, yeah, he's like, the kid's legit on a dirt bike. I have a ton of respect for the kid. Like, he seems cool and all this stuff. And then I open up Instagram, and shots are being fired at me. So I was just like, I was more caught off guard than anyone.
Okay, so it really wasn't anything else, because I was like, at first I thought you guys were kidding, and I'm like, oh wait, no, they're not. This is getting serious. And then I'm like, wait, Jet, you're talking about podium etiquette here?
Yeah.
So it was weird.
It does seem out of character for Jet, to me.
Yeah, I had a guy text me that said Justin's dog is gonna block the sponsor podiums on his jersey, and I'm like, hold on. Are you buying something? You're not sure that it's Thor and Star and Yamaha? You're not sure? The dog is...
They've never heard a Star Yamaha rider on the podium?
You were going to buy the gear that Justin wore, but you couldn't see the logo?
Right.
So you're upset. I don't know.
And he's going to say it anyway.
People will go to anything to just try and do something. I don't know.
It's fucked up because we all want our sport to be fun. We don't want robots. We don't want everything's the same shit.
Yeah.
Okay, you bring a fucking dog up to the podium. All right.
Yeah.
Like, big fucking deal. Like,
Listen,
why are we talking about this? Like,
when Christian brought Jagger up, I'm like, hey, if you're in a 250 class and you're bringing a kid up, it might be time to get out of class. Just FYI.
Right.
But I was kidding. But I was just like, whatever you want to do. If you want
that's
to
actually funny though.
If you want to bring the kid up, I mean, that's what's the difference? I don't know.
Oh God, dude, it's just our sport is it's just bipolar. This whole sport is bipolar. Like, it's just Coop wants to do it. Coop, bring your chick up, make out with your chick, propose, bring the dog up, let the dog take a shit on the podium, whatever. Like, fuck it. Like, let's just do it.
Yeah, you won. I don't know. Okay.
Exactly. It's my interview, so it should go. Yeah. I mean, it's not gonna. It's spicing things up a little bit. I mean, the last 500 podiums have been the same thing. It's because Jet, he put out a post trying to explain himself, and his thing was, it's more professional to hold the trophy, and I mean, that makes zero sense to me.
It's boring.
I mean, it's been done over and over and over and over and over. No one's looking at the trophies. Like, it's just trying to spice things up for me, and I thought it was cool. He was down there at the podium with me, so I brought him right up.
What? Yeah, was this a pre-planned thing, or did someone bring him down and you were like, hey, I'm going to bring him up here? Like, was it an instinct thing, or was it something where you're like, you know what, if I get on the podium today, I'm going to bring Thor up there? Was that, how did it go that way?
Yeah, well, I won with him at A1, and he wasn't anywhere to be seen, so he was right by the podium, and I figured it would be cool to, I won, and it was a big deal. They just bring the dog up.
Yeah,
it was different.
when he was coming off the track, I don't know if you watched the race back, but Justin's girlfriend, I think, was there and they show her picking the dog up.
Yeah.
So she was gathering him up, and the cameras were on here. So then, I guess she just passed him off.
The only problem I have was it wasn't a basset hound. That's the only problem I have with it. It would have been a basset hound. It would have been beautiful. That's it. I mean, he did look like a cool dog, but just not as cute as a basset hound. So.
Do you ever get riled up, Coop?
Well, that riled me out.
I just feel like you're just so calm all the time. You ever just yell?
I am. I'm harmless, but when people are taking shots at me, it's not cool with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you get?
I mean,
fans saying
I just won the race, and this kid's just calling me out. Like,
right.
I don't know. It seemed like he was pretty butthurt on how his day went or something.
It's funny, Chris. You just asked if he ever gets riled up, or because I do see a lot, Justin, where people in your interviews say, we don't see a lot of character, a lot of just excitement, out of Justin. There's no personality. But then you showed personality this weekend, and then I guess Jet didn't like it. But
but again, Jet Lawrence is the beacon of Podium.
Absolutely.
The kid brought donuts up there.
Right. And it was great. That was good, too. I think I like the...
I had no problem with the donuts. I was thinking Jay Coop might have said something about the donuts somewhere along the line. But
who knows?
Yeah, anyway. So, I don't know. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
It's what we need. It's the end of the year.
Let's
get things going. So,
I just can't wait to see what he's going to do now.
Yeah, now I'm excited. Yeah.
Does it have to do with pets? Yes or no?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be like another podium thing like that, but I got something in store.
Okay, good.
All right.
I'd like to see Will in a dog costume on the podium.
Bring a mascot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I like that.
That would be awesome. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, Bobby. Come on.
And Will just jump
and
up
just
there.
Will's like.
Will got me with the flip-off game this week, and it was a good one.
God.
I was standing there. I had my back to him. He tapped me on the shoulder, and I turned around right in my face.
Really?
And then he just kept walking. I was like, fuck me, that's a good one, Will. And he just kept walking. He didn't even stop walking. It was great. Yeah, he crushed it. So good job for Will. Hey, what's it's weird because, like, you're still a young kid, but as we said, Fry made his debut with the team a couple weeks ago. Now you got Thrasher over there, and you're still a young kid. But do you feel like you're, helping these kids and they're asking you questions, and like now you're in a position? This is your third year where you're offering some advice as a veteran, quote unquote. Is it kind of weird?
I mean, yeah, not really. Like
No?
I'm kind of filling into that role, and I know it's coming. So, at some point their eyes are gonna be on me. Like, hey. You're the guy that this year is going to win. So
right.
That's kind of what I'm getting ready for. And when they do need help, I'm there to help. But I don't really, I'm not there to pay attention to them. But if they're looking for some advice, I'm gonna give it to them and try and help them out because it's new to them, and I have experience, so it's always good to help them out.
Yep.
Hey, so last time you're at the Dis Nations. Didn't go so well, right? Let's say this happens again. Let's say we get back and go, and you're invited. How's your outlook on that?
Oh yeah, I'm going back for redemption. Hopefully next year.
Nice, I like that. So I feel like you got cut short. I felt like we had a good 250 rider, and it just got cut short.
We saw what he did on Saturday.
Right.
From that with gate choice too. Remember the Saturday gate choice?
Yeah.
Just crushing it there. Yeah, go ahead, Darkside.
Hey, Justin, I think I asked you this in the press conference a couple weeks ago, but so this weekend, Dylan going for the championship, right? Team tactics, we talk about it, whether it really happens or not, but I just want to know, like, for you, if the team said, hey, if J Mart's leading and you're in second and Dylan's coming, you got to move over, like, that's not something that a racer of your caliber, of your personality wants to do. How do you handle something like that if it does happen?
It's kind of like last year. Like the point gap is pretty big. Like I really don't see it being that close. So it's gonna, if we're all in the top three, that's fine. It's gonna be every man for himself. But if he's behind me and I feel like I'm holding him up and we're behind J-Mart, I'm not going to let him by. Like, I'm going to try and go after J-Mart and try and win the race because there's still a lot of money on the line for me, and I'm not going to roll over and let Dylan just win another race. That's not my style. When I feel like I'm there to win, I'm going to go for the win. So obviously feeling ready to win again, and I'll be the guy that will try to beat Dylan. I won't, obviously if it comes down to it and he needs my help and it's close, and I don't think that's going to happen, but I'd probably, try to, move over for him if I'm not in contention for a win or anything. But if we're both battling for the win, you'll see me fight him hard like I did at Ironman last year.
Yep, I like that answer.
Motocross is an individual sport. It's not really a team sport for sure. You've heard the things that Dylan has said about you. I know there's no love lost between you guys, and he accused you of fighting him harder than you fought AC and all of that stuff. I assume you heard that, and you kind of like you don't really agree with it, right? I mean, you were kind of like what WTF a little bit for that stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, last year I tried for like 10 minutes to get around the guy, and I finally got around him, and I was done. Like I was so tired, like for trying for that long, and he was fighting me hard. So I did not put up a fight with AC just because of how tired I was at the end of the moto. But not taking anything away from AC, he upped his pace and he made a run at me. It's not like I just dropped off, but that's how that one.
I didn't quite get it. I didn't quite understand it a little bit. And Villeman, DV's a buddy of mine. I was on his team with him at Yamaha back in the day, and sometimes I don't agree. Like we'll text back and forth, and I'll just be like, "I think you're crazy, DV. Like I think you're massively biased right now." Right. You know what I mean? And obviously he's Dylan's guy, and I get it. He's on payroll. You got to be your guy. But sometimes the stuff that was coming from Dylan and which was I assume was DV was saying as well, I was just shaking my head at. I'm just like I'm not going there.
Don't
you
agree
know what I
with
mean?
it.
Yeah, I don't agree with it. I just don't. But I know how when everyone gets around and the title chase gets tight, things get weird, feelings get weird, entourages get weird. You know what I mean? So that I've seen it firsthand many times. So, hopefully. Well, now I'm cheering for Cooper this weekend because I got to see. I got to see this fucking podium. So, I just went from cheering from Troll Train. I'm a Troll Train guy, Jay Coop. I'm a Troll Train guy. But I'm gonna go for Justin Cooper this weekend.
What's fucked is Jay Coop now has some cool shit on the podium. Now you're screwed, dude. Now you got to do it every single time.
Got to keep topping it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, if there's a hint, it's not going to come from the podium what I'm doing this weekend. So
even better.
Maybe I'll have to think of something. If I win, I'll think of something.
Oh, okay. So it's different than that even. All right. Well, get your tickets.
Now you're putting the pressure on me.
Yeah. I know. Get your tickets to Paula for sure and check it out. Thanks for coming on, Justin. I really appreciate it. Great work at Lakewood, man. Really cool to see you back. And like I said, for 2021, like you're gonna be the guy that we're gonna be like, hey, can Jay Coop win both championships? I think you're on your way. So thanks again for the time, man.
Yeah, it's the plan. Appreciate being on here, and talk to you guys soon. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you, man. Yep. That's Justin Cooper, brought to you by Vortex Racing. Please email Kyle@vortexracing.com and get a deal from those guys. Good interview. And like I said,
one of his better ones, I think.
Yeah, he's